Hey everybody, welcome back to another First Time Watch Friday. Back. I took a long time. I'm sorry. I was supposed to do this I feel like months ago, so sorry. Things have been just a little bit crazy. And so I'm very happy to be back. There's only two episodes left right now until we go into like another break. So it's gonna be this episode and another episode. Then we take another 2 month break, basically, maybe even over 2 months, and then we're gonna go back into doing it. And if you watch um the little video, the quick update video, you'll find out more about what's happening with it and everything. So until then, I just wanted to get this out and finish this and do this and stuff. And so I'm really excited to be talking about it. I'm talking about Ride Scare the Beginning. Now, Eduardo Castillo, probably completely butchering his name, so I'm sorry. He wrote on a Facebook post about how he wanted someone to review one of his movies. Now, I think he wanted me to review the first Ride Scare. But maybe you wanted this one too. I don't know. I just did this one first because it's the beginning. So when I saw it, I was like, well, maybe I should know what happens in the beginning. So what my guess is, this is what leads up to what happens in the earlier one. Like he wanted to do a prequel to describe why this guy is the way he is and everything. And Tommy is a crazy character, I tell you. He's a very originally a very mild man. He had he my biggest problem with his character was that he was just too much like it. Like it becomes sort of cheesy and silly and not very believable when he's just so much of a pushover. Like he doesn't, and we all know. I mean, I've even been a pushover at times, but we've all known people who are, that just let everybody kick them down and they don't do anything about it. And I guess the idea of this movie was that he finally he snapped, something inside of him snapped, and he decided, oh well, I'm gonna go murder all these people that made my life hell. And so I can see why it's called the beginning with a lot of stuff, because like the ride share stuff is in it, but he's not going around killing people and that he takes for ride shares. Um, I haven't seen the next one yet, and I'm planning to review it. So if you're Eduardo, if you're mad at me for reviewing this one first because this one did not come out first, have no fear. I'm going to review that one too at some point. Maybe with somebody, I'm not sure yet. But I'm going to review it at some point. So just get ready. It may even be its own thing. Um, but the thing is, like, I wanted to review I wanted to review this film specifically, because it was the beginning. So to give you more background, like, yeah, he's this like kind of loser character. My favorite character, by the way, I'm gonna mention this now before I forget, is Trixie, the hooker that comes in. I felt like there should have been more with her. She should have been like helping him or something or teaming up. Like it was a little awkward that, that scene happened and she just sort of disappears kind of thing. So I was kind of wishing that there was more with her. She was the most beautiful girl in the whole freaking movie. I'm not gonna lie. Everybody else, I mean, there were some gorgeous women in the movie, but she was just stunning. Um, Another gripe I have with the film, and this goes into that, is that the credits of the film did not have anybody listed as that, like their characters, and stuff. So like Alexander Hero did not have I think his name was Alexander Hero, but he did not have Tommy. All the characters, all the actors did not have their names by them in the credits. And I don't know if that was a mistake, you know, or if that was a choice that he made. But I didn't like it, and I felt like it was sort of, these people work really hard to play the part, and I get you're giving them credit, but also give them your character name. People like to look those people up. Maybe they feel like they want to cast them and they have no idea who they are. And some of them are not listed on IMDb. Like I had to find out from the credits, which one I think is you know, it is Trixie. So it was hard, for that. And I don't get doing that. Like I feel like, we should put character names on the cast list. So, but once again, I have not watched any of Eduardo's other films, so I have no idea if that's like his style, which I think he should go stick back to doing it like everybody else does. Um, because there's a reason why people do that. It's because they want the people to look them up and say, "Oh man, that person was in that." And whatnot, and look them up and try to find them and stuff. That's the fun part, is looking up and finding these people and seeing what else they've done. Some of the people have worked with other people around that area, that town, and done a lot of the same movies. So you can tell there's this camaraderie together. Um, Another part of what I didn't like about this, and then I'll go into all the stuff I loved. But what I didn't like about it was too slow, you know. Um, it was only an hour and like 10 minutes. And I felt like a lot of it was just kind of dragged on in the beginning. And I wanted things to go a little bit quicker. I wished that they had, but sadly they didn't. The characters were fun. I mean, I I get it. You bring the ride home, the guy that you're giving a ride to the house, that your house, so that the guy can go sleep with your wife. And I mean, there's just one part that I'm like just it makes the guy so pathetic, where he confronts them and he says like, "I loved you," and the guy beats the crap out of him or whatever. And he wasn't I almost feel like the guy might have thought he was talking about him, because the whole time he thought that the dude was watching him. Is like, who the f is this guy? You watching me, you pervert? And the wife's not saying anything, like, don't hurt my husband, or anything, because, she's total jerk, uh, B word, I don't want to say a lot of curse words because into trouble with censorship here. But she was totally terrible of a person. I mean, she had her lawyer basically get this guy for everything, even the K cups. And I thought it was funny at times, and I know it was meant to be. But then I think some of the comedy sort of, fell flat a little bit. I think there was times where they're trying too hard to make something funny, and especially no offense, but the Latinx guy, I didn't like him. I like I didn't not like the actor. Like, I thought the actor did good. And I like the character was too much of an a-hole, like I just I he and I guess you weren't supposed to like him, but still, I was hoping there would be a little bit of likability so that you'd feel sorry a little bit that he got killed. Because I did get sorry that the sister and brother-in-law got killed when they former brother-in-law. The cop situation didn't feel real at all either. I felt like if you're gonna have that scene in there, it would seem very suspicious that he would just like be bringing like things that, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And if he couldn't count for his whereabouts except for being by himself in his room, there's there would have been like a real investigation, I feel like. But it's sort of, once again, it's a comedy horror film in a way. So I think a lot of that is just sort of not worried about, not even thought about. So all in all, I mean, it's your typical sort of thing. I might have spoiled the shit out of it. I'm sorry. I did. Um, really no way. I should have prefaced this by saying, go watch the movie on Tubi. Um, if you haven't seen it yet, go watch it on Tubi. If you don't want to see it and you wanted to hear my thing, then you did it. Um, I mean, there's no way I could review this movie without spoiling anything because it's so short, and because nothing really happens throughout most of the movie. It's pretty much just him moping most of the time until he finally gets the guts, and that's about like I don't know, 30 minutes in, 30 something minutes, 35 minutes in of like halfway through, he finally gets the guts to go do something about it. And so it was interesting. I don't understand the treehouse situation. Like, do they live in a treehouse? It's a little weird. Um, but it's kind of cool. It's just a little weird. Uh, never heard of anybody who lived in a treehouse, like lived in it, you know. But whatever. Um, it The rest of the movie was just sort of, to me, sort of enjoyable enough where I could watch the whole thing and not get completely bored and want to turn it off. I think the director has got some skills. And I hope to see more stuff from him. Like, I'm hoping to see more stuff on Tubi and whatnot. I know he does have other films on Tubi, and so I'll definitely check some of those out. So good luck, Eduardo, on everything. I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope everybody enjoyed this review. Let me know. Once again, next week will be the last week that we do the last episode. I'll be doing alone. Then I'll be bringing in special guests to do them. So get ready for that. Until then, everybody, have a good one, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.